Hello, welcome to our RecapPlus channel with me, Matthew. Today we will watch a recap movie called American Renegades, released in 2017. This is a spoiler content video. So please turn on the subtitle and let's start the story. The film commences in August 1944 when German forces decide to relocate captured paintings and approximately 27 tons of gold ingots from Paris to a secure location. The gold is subsequently transported to the small Bosnian town of Grahovo, where it is stored in the bank vault. German forces detain all the townspeople, while a young boy manages to escape. Jumping ahead 51 years to the conflict between Bosnia and Serbia in 1995, a team of Navy SEALs and United States Naval Special Forces, comprised of Matt, Kurt, Stanton, Jack, and Ben, is tasked with capturing Serbian General Milic. Kurt and Stanton are sent to infiltrate a military base posing as journalists, while their colleagues, Matt, Jack, and Ben, plan to secretly infiltrate via the river and passageways and set explosives. Due to tight security at the base, Matt and Stanton are subjected to thorough searches, nearly to the point of being undressed. Commander Petrovich arrives and grants them an interview with General Milic, intending to share the results worldwide. As they check the sound and camera settings, Matt pretends to adjust Milic's microphone, launching the kidnapping operation swiftly and efficiently. They rush to escape down the river, but they encounter Serbian troops guarding the boat, forcing them into a firefight. With their escape plan foiled, they retreat inside and find a garage with numerous vehicles. Without much thought, they choose a tank and use it to break through the wall for their escape. Matt requests helicopter assistance from headquarters since their original plan has failed. However, their request is denied as too dangerous, leaving them with no choice but to find their own way out. Despite encountering enemy attacks during their daring escape, they find themselves surrounded on a bridge. In a desperate move, Matt orders Jack to shoot the bridge railing to make their way through the river. Eventually, they successfully slip through the water, subvert, and seize an enemy boat. Their pickup request is finally approved, with the location changed to a U.S. frontline base in Bosnia, where they receive a cool reception from Admiral Levin. Levin, clearly displeased, calls them into his office the next morning, where he chastises them. The mission was meant to be clandestine without any witnesses, but instead, they hijacked a tank, killed numerous troops, and caused extensive damage to the city. Although Matt justifies their actions as a necessity due to the enemy's attacks, Levin remains unimpressed, and the matter is escalated to his superiors. Despite the reprimand, Levin rewards Matt and his team with bottles of champagne for their successful capture of Milic. They proceed to celebrate their mission's success at their regular bar, where they are served by a beautiful Bosnian waitress named Lara, whom they have encountered many times. Ben attempts to flirt with Lara, but she rebuffs his advances. Following the celebration, they return to the base, while Stanton decides to extend his evening and goes to Lara's house, where they spend the night together. It turns out that Stanton and Lara had been in a long-standing relationship. Stanton had asked Lara to come and live with him in America, driven by his love for her, but Lara declined. She was committed to her homeland and was determined to assist in her community's development through her newly established foundation. One evening, Lara's younger brother, Milenko, arrived with his gang, led by Boris, demanding a mysterious and valuable package from her. Lara, however, refused to give it to them. Hearing the commotion, Stanton confronted them, but a thug pointed a gun at him. In a tough decision, Lara revealed the package's location to save Stanton. As they left the house, Matt was waiting outside, already aware of their relationship. Lara presented the package that Milenko and his gang sought, which turned out to be a 12.4 kilograms gold ingot worth $150,000. Stanton was taken aback and questioned how Lara obtained the gold. Lara assured him she would explain everything the following morning, intending to take him diving in a lake. The lake concealed shipwrecks, statues, and ancient structures, resembling a sunken city. Lara narrated the story of her grandfather, Bimo. In the past, Bimo had stolen a gold bar from the city but had to hide it when he heard Nazi troops executing townspeople, including his own mother. Bimo then encountered a Bosnian partisan soldier planning to blow up a dam, causing the city of Grahovo to flood in retaliation for the Nazi atrocities. Bimo was entrusted with the bomb detonator. Over time, the city of Grahovo's existence faded from memory, but not for Bimo, who attempted to relay the tale to the locals. However, nobody believed the seemingly implausible account. Lara requested Stanton and his friends' assistance to help her country recover from the war using the treasure. Stanton shared Lara's plan with his friends, which entailed retrieving approximately 2,000 gold bars. If each bar was valued at $150,000, the total sum would be $300 million. However, Matt expressed doubts about the mission's feasibility due to the lake's location in enemy territory and the gold's depth of 46 meters, necessitating extensive diving equipment. Moreover, Lara emphasized that the information was solely based on her late grandfather's account, making this mission extremely risky. She couldn't guarantee its success but was committed to helping the Bosnian people using the gold. Lara proposed an equal split of the gold, with half for Matt and his team and the remainder for the Bosnian people. After careful consideration, Matt agreed to assist her despite the mission's covert nature and potential danger to his team. Matt saw it as a unique opportunity to aid the Bosnian people without resorting to war. The strategy began to take shape. Stanton explained that based on Bimo's story, the gold was stored in a bank vault, a vault he had seen while diving with Lara. Jack was tasked with identifying the steel type of the vault based on the serial number Stanton had observed. They assembled a welding machine from a friend of Lara's who ran a flea shop. They also had to deceive a truck driver at the base to borrow a truck without the required permit, as secrecy was vital for this mission. After acquiring some of the necessary equipment, Matt, Stanton, and Lara went to the lake to position the equipment. However, they encountered a Serbian troop ship on patrol, prompting them to hide. Luckily, they remained undetected by the enemy. After dropping Lara off at her home, Stanton and Matt returned to the base. Unfortunately, Boris had taken Lara's gold ingot from her house. With diving equipment, welding tools, and vehicles prepared, the challenge was how to extract the treasure from the lake. The gold bars were large and heavy, and the Serbian army patrolled the lake every 35 minutes. Ben suggested a plan: wrapping the gold in a cargo net, fastening the net's ends to a cargo parachute deployed in the water to fill with air and lift the gold to the surface. However, Ben was unsure of how to move the treasure from the lake to the shore. Jack then proposed involving his two friends, Rainey and Detroit, skilled helicopter pilots who could be informed of the drop and pickup locations on the lake. Jack then offered $1 million to Rainey and Detroit to ensure they wouldn't disclose the covert mission. However, their mission didn't unfold as planned. The lake was in Serbian territory, and when they spotted an enemy aircraft, Serbian soldiers attacked the helicopter. Meanwhile, due to the aftermath of Milic's kidnapping incident, Commander Petrovic intensified his pursuit of Matt and his team, especially after seeing Jack's helicopter on the lake. Petrovic and his men traced their whereabouts and eventually captured Boris and his associates while they were transporting the gold. Petrovic gained information about the treasure in the lake. Back at the United States Army headquarters, Levin summoned Matt and his team to convey the results of his discussions with superiors. Levin knew Petrovic was hunting them due to the Milic kidnapping incident, so, to avoid further complications, they were ordered to relocate to Mannheim, Germany. Reluctantly, they started packing their belongings, and their mission to recover the treasure was cancelled due to time constraints. While enjoying drinks, Ben proposed a new idea: constructing a water dome using a church bell found in the lake. This bell would be filled with oxygen and serve as a temporary base during their diving missions, saving time on trips to the mainland for oxygen refills. According to Stanton's estimation, implementing Ben's idea would reduce the mission duration to approximately 8 hours, ensuring they could return to Mannheim on time. However, when they were about to set out on their mission, Rainey and Detroit informed them they couldn't pick them up that night but would return the next morning when the mission was complete. Fortunately, Stanton and Jack used their persuasiveness to deceive the transport plane pilot into taking them to the lake. Simultaneously, Lara prepared to head to the lake. Elsewhere, Petrovic, still in pursuit of Matt and his friends, reached Lara's house and took her brother Milenko hostage. After searching the house, Petrovic discovered a diving suit and a map in Lara's room, eventually learning where she, Matt, and their friends were. Petrovic and his troops headed to the lake. Meanwhile, at the headquarters, a soldier informed Levin about Jack, Rainey, and Detroit discussing a classified mission. Levin then summoned Rainey and Detroit to his office to extract information about Matt and his friends' activities. Initially resistant to confess, Rainey eventually revealed the truth under the threat of being discharged by Levin. However, the plan inside the church building to create a water dome proved more challenging to execute than expected. They needed to act quickly because the air inside the dome would run out within 2 hours, and the walls could collapse at any moment. Sadly, they discovered only 10 gold ingots scattered in the cupboard. Jack then held Lara and Stanton responsible for falling for her grandfather's story. With a heavy heart, Jack contacted Rainey and Detroit to prepare for their extraction. Before leaving, Matt noticed some stones arranged differently, and one stone had an upside-down inscription. He returned to the water dome, retrieved a crowbar, and opened the stone wall. Inside, he discovered many human skulls and a box with Nazi symbols, which contained the 2,000 gold bars. Meanwhile, banknotes and some diving equipment from the lake floated to the surface, arousing Petrovic's suspicions. He ordered his men to dive, but while underwater, they attacked Lara. Fortunately, Matt and his friends arrived in time to eliminate the threat. With Petrovich's soldiers defeated, they continued the mission. However, one of Ben's parachute systems used to lift the gold to the surface suddenly surfaced. Seeing this, Petrovich became even more convinced that his enemies were beneath the lake and threw several grenades into the water. Despite the grenade explosions, no one was injured. A new problem arose when they needed an additional oxygen supply to keep the parachute system operating, as the air inside the dome was running low. Matt had to retrieve the remaining oxygen tank from the church and navigate through the rubble caused by the explosions. Petrovich continued to throw grenades, nearly drowning him. After overcoming numerous hurdles and obstacles, they successfully brought the 2,000 gold bars to the surface and awaited Rainey's helicopter for extraction. However, Petrovich, who was lying in wait, launched an attack as soon as they surfaced. Matt attempted to retaliate, but none of his shots hit the target. Just in the nick of time, Rainey's helicopter arrived to rescue them. Admiral Levin, while angry at their unprecedented breach of Navy SEAL protocol by involving a civilian in the mission, did not punish them. Matt explained that the gold was intended to aid in the post-war development of the Bosnian people. They had also fulfilled one of the primary mission objectives, finding and eliminating Petrovich. Admiral Levin acknowledged their remarkable achievement in acquiring a substantial amount of gold. He made a public announcement, explaining that the gold bars had been stolen by the Nazi regime 50 years ago and would be returned to France. For their contributions, Lara received a Medal of Honor for her service in the mission. Instead of revealing the actual total value of the gold, which was $300 million, Levin declared that $150 million worth of gold would be returned to France. Unbeknownst to Matt and his team, Levin had asked his brother-in-law, a finance expert, to secretly channel the remaining $150 million. The money was distributed in the form of checks, with each team member receiving $3,800. However, Lara was given the majority of the remaining $150 million. When they received their checks, the team members smiled and then decided to give all the checks to Lara. They recognized that the treasure wasn't rightfully theirs, and it would be more meaningful to use it for the benefit of the Bosnian people. Lara was deeply grateful for their generosity and, in celebration of their success, offered to host a party at her bar for Matt and his friends. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. You can also click on the videos on your screen to watch more interesting videos. And please share your thoughts about today's video in the comments down below. Lastly, always remember to stay safe and stay healthy. See you in the next video.